Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Sarah Apio, and first of all, I want to say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I really do appreciate so much. You guys are so amazing. Thank you for supporting me. I really don't take this for granted. So let's get started. Okay, on today's video, I felt like talking to you guys about my pre-nursing journey, like the advices and tips for any pre-nursing student out there or anyone who is looking forward to enroll to this program. And I felt that maybe my advice or tips, it might help one or two people outside there that comes across it. So if you feel you're that person, I'll be so humble. Like sometimes I just sit down and ask myself, if you have like many people outside there, they have a knowledge, and what is the purpose of having that knowledge and you're not sharing it out? Because at the end of it, all of us are not immortal. At one point all of us will die, and what will you do with that knowledge? You'll end up going to the grave with that knowledge. So sometimes it is good to just pass out information out there for those who are willing to be motivated by them. Well and good. So this is the reason why I started this YouTube channel, to share out my nursing journey. So enough of my talking, and let's go to the video. So like I've said, my video today is about, as you can see from the headlines, it's just about advices and tips for pre-nursing students. Those advices are based on my own personal experience, and I really felt that I should share them out. So let's get into it. So my advice number one that I really recommend someone to use, like it really helped me before. The thing I normally do, the first thing I do when I want to enroll into a class, I use my ratemyprofessor.com. I know some people will be like, oh, that's so weird, and they feel that sometimes ratemyprofessor.com has a lot of biasness. It's okay, but to some extent, it helps me in a way. And I feel that because sometimes you don't know these instructors, and the schedules of others, maybe the ones that you know are not fitting yours, so you just have to go with a non-professor. And if you don't know that professor so well, the Google is free. Just go to my ratemyprofessor.com and look through. And the tips that I normally use to check on my ratemyprofessor.com, I normally ask myself the questions about ratings. If this professor getting a rating of 4.5 or below 4.5, and if it is above 4.5, how many people are rating this professor? Is it a one person, or is it like many people, like 20 or 30 people? So you want to put that in mind when you are looking for these ratings. So if this professor is getting like low rating, how many people are rating this professor? Another thing I normally put in my mind is how many people are saying positive things about this person, so because the trend of positivity, the trend of which people are saying things, are they saying the same things? I don't know if you guys are getting me. Like for instance, let me say, like if a professor is getting a negative rating, is these people who are saying negative things about this professor, are these negative things are the same things? Like, let me say like, the professor is lazy, and everybody's like, lazy, 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 lazy. Is this professor really worthy to teach me? So those are the main things I normally do, and I really love considering that in my mind if I'm rating my professor. So this is an app that I use a lot. For instance, my I'm starting my classes next week, my physiology class, and I knew other professors who have taught me before, and unfortunately I cannot go into their classes because of one, two, three. My schedule is not going on. My schedule does not match their schedule. And also another thing, I didn't want to do this class online. I wanted to go in person. So I had to take this instructor's class based on people's review, because I can recall when I was doing my anatomy class, the people that I'm doing with them anatomy 1, the majority of them are going to do physiology class, and in that class you could hear everyone, I'm going to so and so class, she's the best, she's like this and that and that. Everybody's just saying positive things about her. And apart from that, out of school, I've had like 3 people like telling me, if you're going to do this class, kindly make sure you register in so and so class, because if you register in so and so class, I promise you'll perform good. So I was like, let me go to ratemyprofessor.com, and trust me, I found the same feedbacks that I was getting from all these people. So rate my professor, I know sometimes it can be a little bit biased, but it's so important to check on that when you are registering in those classes, when you're enrolling to these classes. So you wanna put that in mind. Okay, so let's go to tip number 2. Tip number 2, I know I've talked about this before, and sometimes it's good to stress on something. Like, tip number 2, never ever do 2 sciences class in 1 quarter. Like, in a quarter you want to do 2 sciences class, guys, you will be digging a grave for yourself. You don't want to do that. You're gonna have an hectic time. So what do I mean by not registering for 2 sciences? So when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about the core basis for nursing school. This is like the chemistry class, the anatomy 1 and anatomy 2, and the microbiology. Those the core that I'm talking about. Those classes are so wide. You don't want to risk yourself registering into class. If it is compulsory that you feel that you want to finish the program in time, just try as much as possible to take 1 science class and 2 social sciences or humanity class. That is if you want to finish very quickly. Because me, I can recall, I started school in last year summer, and now this is 1 year down the line. So the reason why I'm only remaining with 2. So the reason why I've not taken the whole 2 years is because I was trying as much as possible to take 1 science class and 2 social sciences classes, like the humanity classes. If you that is, if you know what I mean by that, yeah. So you want to make sure you take 1 science class and maybe a humanity maybe a humanity class, and that will really help. Because, guys, when I was starting this program, I had a sit down with my advisor, and these are one of the things that she advised me on. And 1 year down the line, so I see the reason why she did that. She was really making sense out of it, because even that one science class is so hectic to some extent. You just forget, like you forget about yourself. It's so, like, it's so wide, it's so demanding. So what about if you're taking 2 science classes? You don't want to risk doing that. So I really, really, really appreciate if you take like 1 science, and maybe you combine it with those other classes, the social sciences classes or humanities, whatever, you know them. So that is it. And to top up on that, this is just a top up, like I've mentioned before, you don't want to risk doing these sciences during summer, because normally summer is very short and a lot of things are happening. So you don't want to risk to cover all these wide topics during summer. And I'll recommend you do them during like fall, winter, and spring. And to top up on that also, make sure you put maths on that, because maths is not good in summer. I did it in summer myself, and it really drained me. Yeah, so it's not cool to do these hard topics during summer, because we only, like last summer, we only had 8 weeks, and other quarters, it varies. Maybe it normally 10 to 12 weeks depending on, yeah. So if you know, you know. So depending on, like, I don't know. So yeah, that is it. So make sure you stick to that, and it's gonna help you guys. So yeah, another tip. What else am I forgetting? Another tip. Always, this is tip number 3. Always take an extra credit if there is any, especially on sciences, to mean that the biology classes, chemistry classes, I really advise you to take an extra credit class if there is any, because there are some instructors that do not give the extra credit exams or quizzes. But if your instructor is giving, I'll really, 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 really recommend you take that extra credit, because a 1 point can make a big difference in all these things. A 1 point like this can make a huge difference. So why am I saying this? I can recall when I was taking my chemistry class in last year. Yeah, the good thing about that teacher, she used to give us a lot of extra credits, and if I can recall very well, I was like 0 point something from getting an A, like 0 point. Like, I almost cried. It was like 0 point something from getting an A, guys. And thank God, towards the end of the quarter, she was giving an extra credit quizzes, and that really, really, really saved me a lot. So I'm talking about this out of experience. So if your instructor is giving an extra credit, especially on sciences classes, guys, do not take this for granted. How I wish you'll do them, and you'll see a big change. Yeah. So that is tip number 3. Yeah, tip number 3. Okay, rate my professor, sciences, extra credit. Yeah, tip number 4. And this one, I love it so much. The tip number 4 is Quizlet. Everybody knows Quizlet. Quizlet, I love Quizlet. I love it a lot. So Quizlet is very important, most especially if you're taking sciences, because why am I saying it's so important? If you're that person who loves using like flashcards, Quizlet will be of great help to you. Like, it has a lot of information. you research anything, you'll find there is countless of information on every subject in Quizlet. Countless. Like, I love it, especially when I was doing anatomy. It was the best. I really love it. So you want to put that in mind. Make sure you're using Quizlet and you're gonna like it. Trust me, guys. So it helped me. This one I'm telling you out of my own experience. Yeah. So you want to consider that in mind. It's a very useful resource that you don't wanna miss out. And another thing I really love, and it's free. You don't have to pay anything. It's so free. YouTube, guys, YouTube has a lot of information. It is you to get that time and just search on YouTube and go with what is working for you. So why am I saying YouTube? Like, guys, YouTube has helped me especially in my biology classes, not only in my even other classes, but I'm stressing on sciences. YouTube has helped me. Like, for instance, I've shared this before. In my anatomy class, my professor was giving us video. Her videos were nice, well. Her PowerPoints were nice, well. But I use YouTube mostly if I don't understand something. Like, for these complicated topics, I just go to YouTube in order for me to... I don't know if you guys are getting this. Like, if I see a topic is so complicated that to an extent I'm not getting, YouTube simplifies for me. And I'll make another video and share with you guys the channels that I use most, that are really helpful, that have made me pass. And if you feel that mostly we have time, it is time you create for yourself. Time you create for yourself. So why am I saying this? Most of my YouTube videos, I hear them while I'm cooking. Like I've told you guys, I do a food business. So sometimes when I'm cooking for my clients chapatis, I just put a YouTube video and I listen to wherever topic that I want to listen to. And that's to doing two things at a go: cooking chapatis and listening to the videos. And also another thing, while I'm driving on my way to school, anywhere, and I feel that I'm going to take some time on the road, I just, instead of opening music, I open YouTube video and I just start listening to the lectures. That is how I listen to all. I make like my YouTube very useful. And apart from that, I'm forgetting something. What did I want to tell you? Guys, so I forgot what I wanted to tell you guys about YouTube, but all in all, I think I've shared enough information on that. So try as much as possible to use YouTube as a free resource. It's worth it. That is what I can say. It's very worth it. Yeah. So you might want to consider that in mind. So the next one. Also, I've talked about it, though I know many people have different way of studying, if I'm not wrong. The way I study is not the way you study, and the way you study is not the way the other person studies. So everyone have a different way of study, but this might help somebody who is like straining on how to keep up. So me, mostly, I don't like studying. Like, I don't like using like textbook. I only use textbook for reference. If maybe something is so complicated and I'm not understanding, is when I can always grab a textbook and use. So I'm not a textbook person. I'm a visual, like I love using videos a lot. So I'm that kind of a person. So how do I study? Like, mostly with these wide topics. The way I study my wide topics is in the beginning of our classes, like when classes begin, our instructors normally, some, I don't know if it's all, but majority of them, they normally give a study guide. So me, I normally take my study guide. After checking my study, I download and put it in Word. Then I start spacing out. Like it is I space it out as if it is a question, in a question form. That is what I do. So after spacing it out, I study going like step by step. Like I try and fill up my study guide. So that is how I do it. And most of the time I'm not so much into computer. So I print. After printing, I study best while writing down, if you know what I mean by that. Yeah, I print out the study guide, then I watch video as I fill in those spaces. So during exams, it is very easy for me. I don't have to go all the way back to start reading. I just go through my study guide and revise on what I've already noted down. So that is how I study for my sciences classes, and guys, it's working miracles. Okay, this tip I didn't know before. I was really struggling. I was like struggling. I learned this tip from someone. I don't know, these random people you pop into Insta, cause I follow nurses a lot on Instagram and TikTok. Nurses, student nurses. So when I follow them, and sometimes I bump into someone and I saw, oh, this resource is so useful, and I take a note of that. So even me, I got it from a random person. I think she was on TikTok. And I said to myself, let me try it out if it will work. And guys, I tried it with my major biology class. It worked wonders. I tried it with my anatomy class. It worked superb. And I'm still gonna try it in my physiology and microbiology class, because I'm not saying I've not tried it in other classes, but these are the main classes that are so wide that trying that tip really helped me perform well in these classes. So you want to try that, and if it is not working for you, you can try other methods, yeah, that work for you. But for me, I've told two other students. We were in the same class last quarter. I told two other students, and they really saw a huge difference with their results when they started doing that. But so I think it's an helpful tip. Yeah, so that is it. This one, I don't know if it is a tip, but it is a tip for me. I don't waste your money buying textbooks, because after that class you won't need it. So me, I don't know if it is a tip or it's, but either way, I'll prefer you don't buy textbook. You rent a textbook and use it. Then at the end of the semester, kindly just take it back. And this will help you save on your finances. That is what I'm currently working on, because I'm so extravagant, and I try as much as possible to minimize that. So I rent my books nowadays. Before, I was so naive. I used to buy and they sit in this house doing nothing. So I opted away from that and started renting books, and at the end of the quarter I returned them back. I think that will work. So I think I've exhausted all, or maybe if 1, 2, 3 things are remaining, guys, feel free to always share your experience and comment down below. And yeah, so this is another thing before I close up. it might be an advice, I don't know, but kindly guys, please, 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 if you feel that the class is becoming so hard, do not panic. Do not panic. Do not drop out. Do not drop out. Because you feel that others are dropping out. I had the the exact scenario last quarter when people were dropping out of anatomy class, and I had a friend that was looking forward to do that, but I told her, do not give up, just keep working hard and give that class your all. Just give it your all. And when I told her that, she never gave up. She did not give up, and she just did the exact thing that I told her. And trust me, guys, we are going to sit in the next class, like physiology class. She passed with flying colors. That is after doing the first exams, she didn't do well. Exam 2, she was losing hope. Exam 3, she was there. Then boom, exam 4, she passed, and lab work, she did marvelous, and she passed. Finally, she did well. And so if you feel that you do your first exams and you feel like dropping out of that class, it's not the end of the world. Keep pushing and try as much as possible to give that class your all, because at the end of it, when you're done with that class, you don't feel guilty. You'll say, at the end of it, I tried my best. So I'll rather recommend that you push through with the class, no matter how hard it becomes. It will be easy as time goes by. So chill, guys, and I think I've exhausted everything, and yeah, so allow me to end this video, and again I want to say thank you guys for supporting your girl. I really do appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. You are so amazing. So I'll keep you guys posted, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye bye.